What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Johnny K Picks. And in this video, I'll be going over my full card, picks and predictions alongside my bets so far for UFC Vegas 63, Kattar versus Allen. Now, first things first, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and if you're new, please do so as well. And click those notifications so you don't miss out on any of my new videos or live streams. So, UFC 280, the card of the year, just took place yesterday, and it was a great card all around. I'm going to go over it a little bit here. There were some surprises, a lot of good fights, couple maybe questionable decisions, if you want to say. So let's jump right into it. Just real quick, I just want to go through it. Carol Rosa versus Lena Landsberg. That questionable knee, especially, that's what brings me back to that fight. Rosa was winning that fight, and then the knee was a little, she was really down, but good win for Carol Rosa, and I mean, not the greatest fight in the world, but it was the opener. So what are you gonna do? Muhammad Makayev versus Malcolm Gordon, very good fight as well. Makayev looked like he's a little bit human in that fight. I'm not gonna lie, he's been steamrolling everybody, but Gordon did some good things on the ground. It went over 1.5, which was one of my bets, and I hit that at plus 100, so I was happy about that. I did think it was going to be a lot of wrestling, and that's what happened. Gordon's chin is a little questionable, so I didn't think Makayev was going to knock him out, but because he's not the greatest striker in the world, but he got the submission late. I thought he was winning that fight even before that, so good win for him. And he's just going to be a future champion. We all know that eventually. So he's very young. He's improving, and he's a beast. So Petrosian versus Dobson. I saw some people saying Dobson won that fight, but I thought Petrosian outlanded him, landed the better strikes, whatever you want to say. All three rounds, 30-27, I thought it was pretty clear. I mean, you could maybe say 29-28, but Petrosian won that fight. Dobson looked better than I thought he would be. He looked a little bit fresher. His cardio looks better. He didn't use his wrestling a lot. He did try for some takedowns, but Petrosian got back up like I thought. And Dobson just needs to learn how to either wrestle better or strike a little bit with more volume and land a cleaner shots. Otherwise, he's going to keep losing in this fight. Abubakar versus Godzi. Very good fight. Abubakar kind of shocked me. He dominantly won that fight, I thought, pretty handily. Better striking, better gas tank. Wrestling looked really good. Godzi did have some good reversals and sweeps and scrambles, but other than that, I mean, it was Abubakar all day, I thought. And I was kind of questionable with that fight, but what are you going to do? Abubakar won that one, so give him credit. Krylov versus Ozdemir. I had Krylov here. Crazy first round, crazy pace in the first round. Krylov got rocked early on. I thought Volkan was going to finish him, and then Volkan got rocked later in the first round, and Nikita started using his wrestling and eventually ended up winning that fight. And very good fight, very good win for him as well. And he's tough. He's a tough dude. I like it. Barajo versus Muradov. I thought Kaya was going to come in here and pretty much dominate. He didn't. I will say that he's got some holes in his game, which I mean, I didn't think he was going to have those holes in the grappling department, but Muradov either looked, I just thought maybe Muradov's grappling wasn't that good, but actually he either, like I said, he must have improved in his grappling, because I didn't think it was that good. And Kyo's grappling maybe isn't as good as I thought. Let's say that. Striking, there wasn't too much striking in this fight, but I thought Kyo won. I know some people on Twitter maybe thought Muradov won, but I thought Kyo won at least 29-28. Kyo does have some holes in his game. He's going to need to shore up a little bit here, but I still think he's a good prospect. I think he's very good, but he has some work to do a little bit after that fight. Muhammad versus Sean Brady. Shocker of the night. I never would have thought Bilal would have got this knockout. I thought Brady was very, very tough. He's usually durable. Bilal just tagged him and then just kept going at it and eventually got the knockout. Some people thought it might have been an early stoppage. I thought it was going to happen eventually, no matter what. I didn't really mind it. Brady was standing on the feet. He was toughing it out, but he had nothing. He wasn't doing nothing except get hit in the face. So I thought it was a pretty decent stoppage. And if it was early, like I said, it was going to get done. He was going to get that finish eventually. So good win for Bilal. I'm glad for him. Like I said, people keep underrating this guy. He's really good. Really, he didn't even use his wrestling. I don't even think he shot for one takedown. So Brady did shoot for a couple, and Bilal stopped him, but mainly played out in the feet. And Bilal was the better striker. I kind of thought he was a slightly better striker, and he showed it. Farrell versus Chukagian, very close fight, I thought. I would say Farrell won it. But Chukagian did what Chukagian usually does. She keeps the fight close. It was I wouldn't say it was the most entertaining fight of the night, but two strikers. I mean, Farrell landed the cleaner shot, more damage, obviously. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I don't know about a 30-27 or 20, or I'm sorry, not 30-27, 29-28 for all three judges. And I thought maybe one judge would have gave Chukagian because it was that close. But like I said, I'm not mad about it, Farrell. I did pick Chukagian. I will say I did, which was my first loss of the night. I just thought Chukagian, with her experience, could win it out. But good win for Farrell. Dariush versus Gamrot. I had Gamrot here. Dariush shocked me. The layoff clearly didn't phase him one bit. Very good takedown defense. And when he did get taken down, he used all of his scramble abilities. I was very impressed with his whole overall game. And I just thought Gamrot would have edged this one out. I thought his wrestling was going to be a little bit too much and maybe tire out Dariush, but nope. The exact opposite here. So good win for Dariush, good underdog bet for anybody. And yeah, Dariush he's good. I knew he was good, but I just thought Gamrot was going to win it just by an edge, but it didn't work out. O'Malley versus Jan, controversy of the night. Watching it live, I will say I thought Jan won it at least 29-28. There was an argument for 30-27 for me, but I mean, they gave it to O'Malley. I mean, I guess you can say maybe by the damage, but I will say this with Jan, he has that tendency of starting out very slow, and he looked better in the first round this fight, but I think if he would have done a little bit more in the first round, he may have got the judges to go his way. I think 2 of the 3 judges gave O'Malley that first round. So again, that's his like little bugaboo. If it was a 5-round fight, I'm almost positive he would have won this fight. But since it's a 3-round fight, I mean, he's got to push the pace a little bit more. And I mean, I know he's good and he probably should have won this fight, but he made it too close again, and he only loses by split decisions or DQs. So he's good. O'Malley's good too. I'm not going to try to take anything away from it. He proved to us that he can hang with the big boys, and he didn't get knocked out or anything. And he damaged Jan like bad in the 3rd round. So you got to give him credit for that. He definitely won the 3rd round in my eyes, but good win for him. I thought Jan won though, but hey, it is what it is. That's the MMA. Sterling versus Dillashaw. Sucks that Dillashaw got hurt. Apparently he had the injury beforehand, told the ref all this stuff about his shoulder, and it popped out early in the first. He made it through until the second. Sterling got the sub in the second. After I saw his shoulder popped out, I knew it was over. It just sucks because, I was kind of looking forward to this fight, and I was very up and down with this one. I didn't know who I was going to pick. I ended up picking Sterling, and, he got the win. That's about it. That's all you can say. And Islam versus Oliveira. I was very high. I will say I was very high on Oliveira. Islam looked amazing. He got the win. I just don't know what Charlie was doing in there, man. He looked a little bit scared maybe of the takedowns, and his striking didn't look as good as it usually is. And Islam cracked him a couple times. He's got power. I wouldn't say he has the most technical striking, but if he lands, he's got power. And on the mat, he's really good. So I just thought Charlie, if he got taken down, he would do a little bit better. And he survived until the 2nd round, and then he really got cracked, and he couldn't do much about that arm triangle. So good win for Islam. I posted on my Instagram that I ate an olive because I said if Oliveira loses, I would eat olives because I do not like olives one bit. So if you want to go check that out right now. I have it on my Instagram. So a little bit of video for you there. So like I said, I went 8-4 on my picks. My losing picks were Gamrot. I picked Jan. I picked Islam, and I also picked Chukagian, like I said earlier. So not a bad card for my picks. On my bets, I ended up, here's my bet slip thing. I ended up losing minus 1.37 units, mostly because I had 3.5 units on Charlie Oliveira to win. Obviously he lost, so I lost 3.5 there. So that was he was going to make or break my night, let's be honest. I did lose a small bet on Kaio to win by submission. 0.5 units, not bad. I lost one leg with the over 2.5 rounds in the Bilal Brady fight. I did not see Bilal finishing that one bit. I thought that fight was going to go over 2.5. So I'm okay with that. It happens. I just really thought that was going to go over 2.5. That was almost like one of my locks of the night. And then I also bet Gamrot in my last one I lost to. So I wouldn't say that was a horrible bet, but Dariush looked really, really good. And I didn't see that I didn't think he would be that good, but he looked real good. So good win for him, like I said. So we'll go ahead and jump into Vegas 63, I believe, of Kattar versus Allen. We lost some fights because I did my research before this video and I just jumped in right now. Saw that there was 3 fights that are off. I don't know what happened to the Madsen Dawson fight. It's not on here. It might still be up on here, but I'm not going to go over it because it's not here. We also lost Clayton Rodriguez versus, where is it? Cody Durden. We just lost that one recently. Looks like Rodriguez withdrew. And we just lost Christian Rodriguez and Garrett Armfield. Armfield withdrew. No idea, but not going to go over that one. Did research for it. So we'll just go. I'm going to scroll down to my notes here real quick, and we'll start it off with Roman Dolidze versus Phil Hawes. And Dolidze is 10-1, 34 years old, 6'2", 76-inch reach. And Phil Hawes is 12-3, 33 years old, 6 foot with a 77.5-inch reach. So this is going to be a banger. I am looking forward to this fight. This was one of the fights on the card that I was looking forward to. And I will say this right now, Dolidze is a monster. And I went to UFC Austin where he fought Kyle Daukaus, and I picked Daukaus. And oh my God, he made Daukaus look like a fool. And he went in there guns blazing, and he's got crazy power. I did not expect that from him, but he's got very good power in his hands. I wouldn't say he's the most technical striker, but he has very good wrestling, very good grappling and BJJ submissions as well. He does slow down a little bit as the fight goes on. He's very dangerous in the first round. But he's got, like I said, I just like his wrestling and grappling better, but he got power on the feet, and he showed it in the Kyle Daukaus fight. Phil Hawes actually fought his last fight in UFC Austin as well against Darren Wynn. Did very good against Darren Wynn. Darren Wynn surprised me a little bit. He stayed in there for the longest until, he finally got the KO. I think if I remember correctly, the ref eventually stopped it on the feet. But Phil Hawes is good. He's got good wrestling. He's got good power in his hands too. Good striking and boxing. I will say, though, he does have a little bit of chin problems, if you want to say. Not late as of late. He did get knocked out by Chris Curtis, but he's gotten, rocked a couple times here and there. He even got clipped a little bit in the Darren Wynn fight, if I remember correctly. He didn't go down or anything, but he got clipped pretty good. And Darren Wynn's a small little guy. He's like 5'6" for that division. And Roman has some legit power. And that's what worries me in this fight. So, first fight of the night, I guess. I don't know if this is going to be the first fight or what, but I'm going to go with the underdog here. I'm going to say Roman gets this one done. I like his wrestling. I know Phil Hawes has good wrestling too. On the feet, it's going to be a little bit closer. I will give Hawes the edge with the technical striking, but I like Dolidze's power. And if he rushes him and gets him pressed up against the cage, kind of like he did with Kyle Dawkins in his last fight, I mean, you can get that knockout too. I mean, Phil Hawes is big, though. He's strong too. So this is going to be a really close fight. On the mat, though, I do favor Dolidze in his grappling and submission ability. So I'm, like I said, going with Dolidze here as the underdog. So I think he's going to win. You know, I'm going to go with a knockout. Let's say a knockout. I think he's going to win by knockout. So we'll see what happens. I think this is going to be a very good fight either way. Just going with the underdog. I think this is a very close fight. And then the second fight, we're going to go here. And we got Joseph Holmes versus Jun Park. Holmes is 8-2, 27 years old, 6'4" with an 80-inch reach. And Park is 14-5, 31 years old, 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. Now, this is interesting because Joseph Holmes looked really good on the Dana White Contender Series. He didn't get the contract, but he did another fight, I believe, in Fury. He won, got the contract after that. Then he fought Jamie Pickett. And we know Jamie Pickett, not a fan. He's not good. Let's be honest. He lost badly, too. Not even close. So, and then he came back and he beat Alan Arlovski. So, but then again, he's not nothing to brag about. Let's be honest. He's just a punching bag. But he's got good size for this division. He's got good grappling, good submissions, decent striking, but he slows down. He just slows down in that fight with Jamie Pickett. He was very low volume in the first round, and after the first round, he looked like he was gassed. So I don't know. Maybe it was the first fight jitters, or if you want to say, but that was his UFC debut. But I mean, he's very dangerous. Like I said, he's got very good submissions. Park is a very solid fighter. He's got very good wrestling, very good striking and boxing too. I wouldn't say he has knockout power, but he does have some power, or like one punch knockout power, let's say. But he does have some decent power. He rocked Gregory Rodriguez in his loss. I know he lost to him, but they went in a brawl in that sequence, and he rocked Gregory for a while, and then eventually Gregory just landed a shot that rocked him harder, and he couldn't handle it. And we know RoboCop can handle a lot, so got to give him credit for that fight a little bit. Most of his fights have gone to decision. He's won, but he's got like I said, very good wrestling. He's just very solid everywhere. And I know he's going to be a little bit smaller. He's going to have a 6-inch disadvantage height, and then a 7-inch disadvantage of reach. So I think he's going to have to use his wrestling here. And I'm going to go with Park. I'm more confident in picking Park here. I think he's the more reliable fighter, if you want to say. I need to see more from Holmes. I know he's dangerous. He could be a good prospect in the future, but I got to go with the solid fighter here. Has the more experience with the, I think, a little bit better competition as well. I'm not saying he's fighting champions, but these are pretty good wins. And Joseph Holmes kind of not really fought the best of competition, let's be honest. So give me Park here. I'm going to say he wins by decision. Okay, we'll move on up to the next one here, which is going to be Chase Hooper versus Steve Garcia. Chase Hooper is 11-2-1, 23 years old, 6'1", 75.5-inch reach. Steve Garcia is 12-5, 30 years old, 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. Now, Chase Hooper, we all know he has amazing grappling, amazing submissions. Recently in his couple last fights, though, we kind of make fun of him with his striking, but it's looking a little better. And I'm gonna say, I have to say it. He's looking a little bit better with his striking. He's still very, very, very young. I mean, he's 23 years old. He went in the UFC, I believe, when he was like 19 or 20. So he's coming along a little bit. Like I said, not the greatest striker. He's improving. Very good grappling, very good submissions. He's got very good ground and pound as well. So very good scrambles if he gets on the mat. So that's where his bread and butter is. He wants to get this fight to the mat. Steve Garcia, pretty solid striking, if you want to say. He's got solid grappling as well. The thing about worries me about him though is his chin. He's been knocked down. He was, let's say, he's been knocked down a little bit by Charlie Ontiveros a couple times, but he still won that fight. He was pretty much dominated in a Pena fight, and he got knocked out right away in this fight, and that was 4 months ago. So I just don't think his chin is amazing. And I'm not saying Chase Hooper is KO guy, you know what I mean? But, you know, I think Chase Hooper is going to get this fight to the mat, and I think he's going to be able to control him for however long it lasts. Let's be honest. If Luis Pena can do that, I think Chase Hooper can do the same thing too. Garcia, though, he does have some power in his hands. He could get him on the feet, but I mean, Chase Hooper, he's a smart kid. He knows what he has to do. He's going to get this fight to the mat. And if he can't, I mean, he might lose a decision. But I like Hooper's chances. I think he's going to be able to get the sub here. So with my pick, I'm going to say he gets a sub win, maybe in the second or third round, just backpacking him and getting this fight to the mat and controlling the whole fight on the mat. All right, here we go. Andre Arlovski versus Marcos Rodrigo de Lima. Arlovski is 34-20, 43 years old, 6'3", with a 77-inch reach. And de Lima is 19-8-1, 37 years old, 6'1", with a 75-inch reach. So another interesting fight. Both these guys are mainly strikers. I will say de Lima will have the power advantage early. Arlovski is he's 43 years old, but he is still a tough guy to get out. He's very quick on the feet. He stays at range very well. He picks apart his opponents from range, if you want to say. He has a good jab. He does 1-2s and he just circles left or circles right, whatever way he wants to go. He doesn't get into brawls too much, if you want to say. And de Lima, like I said, got very good kicks, very good power early, but man, he fades fast after the first round. And de Lima can wrestle, but that's only going to empty his gas tank even more. But with my pick, though, I'm going to go with Arlovski. I've had good luck picking him. I don't know if I'm going to bet him. I want to, but something is holding me back. We'll see what happens. I know the line is went up a little bit for him. It's not 155 anymore. I think it's like closer to 170, 175. Yeah, I think he can get it done. If he weathers the storm in the first round, I know Arlovski kind of not gasses, but he slows down as the fight goes on too. He's 43 years old, but I think Marcos gasses harder. And maybe Arlovski loses the first round, but I think he'll win rounds 2 and 3 if it goes that far. And if Arlovski wins, though, I think it will be by decision. I don't think you'll be able to knock him out. Marcos did go decision in his last fight against Ivanov, but that was kind of a weird fight. It could have went either way. I know he didn't get that victory, but yeah, I think Arlovski can handle him. He's got fight IQ for 20 years or whatever, how long he's been in the UFC. So Marcos, like I said, dangerous early, but he hasn't really fought. He's only beat the lower level heavyweights, and I'm not saying Arlovski's lower level quite yet, even though he's 43. I think he's still pretty good in there. Next fight we got is Tresean Gore versus Josh Fremd. And Gore is 3-2, 28 years old, 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. Fremd is 9-3, 28 years old, 6'4", with a 76.5-inch reach. Now, this is interesting, and technically, this is on the main card right now. It's interesting. That's a very weird thing to say, because I don't know if these guys should be in the UFC. Let's be honest. Gore has very good striking, kind of low volume at times. Has good power in his hands. Likes to push forward. He just got knocked out recently by Cody Brundage, and it was with a punch that I did not think that would knock him out, because I picked Gore, and I also bet him to win that fight. and I was very underwhelmed, let's say. He's got good takedown defense. I think he can be taken down though. He's got pretty solid takedown defense. I wouldn't say it's the greatest, but he wants to stay on the feet though. And Josh Fremd, he's got good striking, good power in his hands as well. He's going to have the height advantage here. I think his grappling is going to be way better on the mat. Submissions as well, so that's going to be an advantage for him. But I'm going to go with Josh Fremd. I don't know how you can't. Let's be honest. Tresean Gore isn't the greatest. He hasn't shown us really much. His last win, I mean, on the Dana White Contender Series, he looked okay, but then he got hurt, I think, and he didn't even make it to the championship when he was supposed to be. And then he fought Brian Battle in the UFC after that, and he lost. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to pick Tresean Gore here. I'm not going to bet this fight one bit. I'm staying far away. But I think Josh Fremd will be able to get it done here. And I'm going to say he gets it done by KO. I think he'll be able to KO him. And I'm just a little bit scared as well. It's 3 months ago he got knocked out. And it wasn't like a ref stoppage, too. And it was a pretty decent knockout. So I don't know if he's coming back a little too early. We'll see. But give me Fremd here. I'm going to say by knockout. Anything can happen, though. Maybe by submission, too, or a club and sub or something like that. All right. Next fight on the main card. I just want to remind everybody there's only 9 fights, which is crazy. And but we have Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Jared, my guy, Vanderaa. Waldo is 7-0, 31 years old, 6'4", with a 78-inch reach. Vanderaa is 12-9, 6'4", with an 80-inch reach on a 4-fight losing streak. Yeah, this is on the main card, guys, but Cortez is a very good prospect. I think he's has power in his hands, knockout power. He usually wins his fights by knockout. And I'm going to say it right now. I think he gets it done by knockout. I know I didn't say anything about Vanderaa, but we all know who Vanderaa is. Let's be honest. He's a journeyman heavyweight, to put it nicely. He doesn't have the greatest fight IQ. He does have some good grappling and wrestling. If he uses it in this fight, he potentially can win, but I don't think he's going to do it. Why? Because in his last fight against Chase Sherman, he should have done that. He didn't even try. Chase Sherman's awful on the mat. So if he's not going to do it then, and that was 2 months ago and he got knocked out by Chase Sherman, this guy is going to destroy him. Let's be honest. So give me Waldo here. Don't have a bet on him. I don't like the line. I think it's over 200 now. I would rather look at the props of the under 1.5 or Waldo by knockout. I think those are the better value picks if you like Waldo. But I'm not going to say Waldo is, if you want to put him in a parlay. I think it's good. But I think you can just don't worry about putting him in a parlay and just do the under here. I think it's going to end in the first round. So this is a lower level heavyweight fight, and you usually know what happens with that. Knockout first round, let's be honest. All right, Justin Jacoby versus Khalil Rountree. Jacoby's 18-5-1, 34 years old, 6'3", with a 78-inch reach. Rountree is 10-5, 32 years old, 6'1", with a 74-inch reach. Now, this is going to be another great fight. Both guys are mainly strikers. Kickboxers, very good kicks from both of them, very powerful hands as well. I will say Jacoby might be the more technical of the two, but Rountree has that like mean toughness and aggressiveness in him, especially in this last fight. He made Roberson look bad. Let's be honest. I'm not saying Roberson's the greatest, but man, he looked nasty in that fight. But like I said, I'm going to go with Jacoby here. I think he's the better technical striker. He's going to have to be safe, though, early in the first round. If he can make it past that, I think he'll be safe to win either a decision or maybe even a late KO. I mean, maybe in a late second or third round. But Khalil is going to be live for a knockout. He's strong, very strong. And we've seen Jacoby get rocked a couple times. He's kind of hittable at times, but so is Rountree. But yeah, I'm more leaning towards a knockout now. So I'm going to say Jacoby wins this one by knockout. I think it's going to be late in the second or third round. I think he'll be able to weather the storm in the first round of Rountree's striking, and he'll get it done. But this is going to be a very close fight either way. It's going to be on the feet. Good kickboxer versus kickboxer, if you want to say. And Jacoby is a good kickboxer. Very good. All right, co-main event. We got Tim Means versus Max Griffin. Means is 32, 13 and 1, 38 years old, 6'2 with a 75-inch reach. And Max Griffin is 18 and 9, 36 years old, 5'11 with a 76-inch reach. So this is going to be a close fight too. Let's see. Both guys are very well-rounded. I would say they're pretty even on the feet. Maybe Griffin has the more technical edge, if you want to say, but Means does have some spinning elbows and back fists and all that stuff and kicks and stuff. On the mat, I mean, it's close to. I think Means has maybe the better grappler, but Griffin does have pretty good wrestling too. Means might be a little bit better finisher, but he hasn't finished anybody in a while. Let's see. I don't even see in his last 5, he hasn't finished anybody. So, and that was over, 2.5 years ago. He hasn't finished anybody. He's getting up there in age, 38 years old. I mean, Griffin's 36, but I'm going to go with Griffin here. I think he's going to edge it out here by decision. I think he is going to be obviously he's the younger fighter, but Means has a lot of miles on him. And I think when he loses by finish, and I don't want to say he gasses out, but it just depends. I like Griffin's cardio better than Means, I will say. And if he tries to go for some takedowns, Griffin, I think he'll be able to get him. Means takedown defense isn't the greatest in the world. On the feet, though, it'll be close, maybe early on, but I think Griffin will be able to pull away in the later rounds too. So give me Griffin here. I'm going to say it's going to be by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like a late finish as well, maybe by knockout. I don't think by submission, but maybe by knockout. But I'm going to say decision. He gets this done. Close fight. It's going to be close and good, so I'm looking forward to this one. And the main event, which is going to be the best fight of the night, let's be honest. This card is very lackluster. So Calvin Kattar versus Arnold Allen. Kattar is 23 and 6, 34 years old, 5'11 with a 72-inch reach. And Allen is 18 and 1, 5'8 with a 70-inch reach. So both these guys are very good. Very good. Kattar has very good boxing. He's very durable. He has very good cardio for 5 rounds. I want to say that right now, 5 rounds. Throws a ton of volume. He likes to push forward, has a good takedown defense if Allen wants to try for takedowns. I wouldn't say he has like one punch KO power, but he's got good KO power, or good decent power in his hands. Has very good elbows. He likes to use those step in elbows and time those perfectly when he's on the feet. And he usually lands those. Like, I know a lot of people try and they don't, but he lands very good elbows. In his last fight against Josh Emmett, he landed a lot of elbows. And I know he lost that fight, but I was there, UFC Austin. He did not lose that fight. I don't know how. I mean, the judges gave Emmett fought hard. I'm not going to take anything away from Emmett, but I thought Kattar won that pretty clearly, if you want to say. But Arnold Allen is, like I said, very good striker as well. He's got good power in his hands as well. He's got good grappling and wrestling. I don't see this fight going on the mat. I think Allen will try, but like I said, Kattar's got very good takedown defense. So I don't think, maybe once or twice, but I think Kattar will be able to get back up. And I'm a little worried with Allen's cardio. He's shown in his not recent fights, I'm sorry, but in his previous fights before, he does slow down a bit, maybe like in the 3rd round. He does very good in the 1st and 2nd rounds, but 3rd round, he slows down a bit. I don't know if he's just taking it off because he knows he won, but little worrisome. This is the 5-round. This is a 5-round fight. So I don't know. I think I like Kattar here. I like Kattar a lot, and I think he's going to win by a decision. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was like a 5th-round knockout or something, or late 4th-round knockout. Maybe if Allen he just hasn't got to those championship rounds yet. So, yeah, give me Kattar here. I think he wins this one. He should have won his last one. Let's be honest. And then his other Max Holloway. I mean, tough as hell. I don't even know how he survived that fight. Let's be honest. And he tore apart Giga for 5 rounds. And Allen had a good win against Hooker. Hooker did come down to featherweight, and maybe he was a little chinny for that extra weight cut. He beat Yusuf, but I think in that fight, like I said, I think he slowed down in the 3rd round. And then after that, I mean, not the greatest wins. I mean, Kattar's fighting the top guys in featherweight and winning, except Holloway and Emmett, which, like I said, I thought he won. So give me Kattar here. I know the line is like a pick 'em right now. I think I have a bet on this fight, and I got at minus 130, I'll say, but I'm kind of mad now because it's at minus 110, 110. So, I mean, I think people are seeing the value on Allen as an underdog, which I totally agree. He's got some value and he's a live dog, but give me Kattar here. I think he's proven to everybody that he is a good fighter and a good boxer, and he's very tough. I think he'll get this one done. But like I said, with my bets, I only have 2 right now. My first bet, like I said, I have 1.5 units on Kattar to win, and I got that at minus 130, not minus 125. And I think right now, at this moment, it's a pick 'em at minus 110, 110. I just like him a lot. I think he's going to be able to win this one. I think there's good value on both sides if you like Allen. So if you can get Allen at plus money, go ahead. And if Kattar goes to plus money, I think I might drop another unit on it. Why not? And I got another 2-fighter parlay, and I'll get to these real quick so I can show you. My 2-fighter parlay is Chase Hooper to win money line, and I also have Max Griffin to win money line, and I got that at plus 125, just 1 unit bet on that. I really like both those fighters to win their matchups. I think Chase Hooper is going to be the better grappler, and I think he'll get it done on the mat, whether by submission or decision. And Griffin, I think, is going to be a close fight early on, but I think Max will pull away in the later rounds and win by decision as well. Maybe a late round knockout, but I'm going to go ahead and say decision. But yeah, that's it. There's only 9 fights here. It's crazy that we lost 3 before I did this video. So if there is any added fights throughout the week, I will post them in my comment section, and I'll give like a little brief summary of my breakdown and prediction of it. So be on the lookout for that. If I add any bets, they'll be in the comment section as well. Thank you everybody for watching. Check out my go check my Instagram out, my Twitter account as well. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. Like I said, this is a short video I wanted to do real quick. 9 fights, it's not the greatest card, but I mean, there's some good fights in the top. The last 3 fights are good. So thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, happy fight night.